We did a whole class on the Marx Brothers yesterday, and we didn't once mention that they were actually brilliant musicians, and this is a music class. Okay, Thursday we're going to talk about the music of the Marx Brothers, but why don't we properly start this class? Pay no attention to that beginning. Yeah, I mean, I was going to do an LA class today, but I couldn't sleep last night because I was thinking, this is a music class. We didn't touch on how, I mean, in particular, two of the Marx Brothers, brilliant musicians. And I've been trying to think, yeah, they could really play really well. And this obviously comes from vaudeville, right? Being on the stage, although that doesn't guarantee you're going to be a great musician. So recap, Marx Brothers, American, family of great talent. Minnie Marx, she was in vaudeville. She had 5 sons, and they were all successful. 4 of them were, in movies. 3 of them were, superstars: Groucho, Harpo, Chico. Zeppo was supposedly the funniest, but he was the straight man. But became a brilliant engineer and multimillionaire. And Gummo was an agent and very successful too.
I'm in a hurry. To the House of Representatives. Ride like fury. If you run out of gas, get Ethel. If Ethel runs out, get Mabel. Now step on it.
The Department of Labor wishes to report that the workers of Fredonia are demanding shorter hours.
Very well, we'll give them shorter hours. We'll start by cutting their lunch hour to 20 minutes. And now, gentlemen, we've got to start looking for a new treasurer.
But you appointed one last week.
That's the one I'm looking for.
Hey, what's this? Get off that table! Get off that table! Why do you think come on, fix your face here anyway? Get that out! Lunatic! You want to break that? Here, let it alone.
We talked about those terms, anarchy and rebellion, and there's non sequiturs, there's contradictions, all of these things that really make comedy so much fun. They catch you off guard.
I think you're the most beautiful woman in the whole world.
Do you really?
No, but I don't mind lying if it'll get me somewheres.
Oh. I shall be in the supper club tonight.
The supper club?
Yes. Will you join me?
Why, you coming apart?
Oh, come on now. You wouldn't say no to a lady.
I don't know why not. They always say no to me.
What we kind of mostly theorized and kind of came to a conclusion that it's the characters that make them funny. Because when you like the character, you root for them or you want them to say something funny so you can respond to it and laugh. And they establish such strong stage persona characters, mostly based on their real, they were exaggerations. I mean, Groucho was grouchy. He had a stomachache most of the time, so he was kind of, the one-liners and, the painted-on mustache, all these things, wisecracking one.
What is it? Got a big black mustache, smokes a big black cigar, and he's a big pain in the neck.
Now, don't tell me. Has a big black mustache, smokes a big black cigar, and there's a big pain in the... Does he wear glasses?
That's right. You guess it quick.
Just for that, you don't get the job I was going to give you.
What job?
Secretary of War.
All right, I take it.
Sold.
Chico was a womanizer and a gambler, and then Harpo. Well, what? Why do you think he played the harp? He taught himself how to play the harp. That's not an instrument anyone picks up and just understands how to do it. So I kind of this class want to show you some really hilarious and also some sensitive moments in their movies when they're actually performing on their instruments. Mostly Harpo and Chico are the really super talented ones. So, I mean, here's a little bit of Harpo. Didn't have any formal training, and it's really great because all this madness is going on in the movies, and sometimes there's just a little bit of softness and a little bit of introspection. I don't know. It's beautiful how he plays. I love the harp. I'm sure you guys do too. So magical. He supposedly played 6 instruments, so a harp probably was, well, I don't want to say that because Chico could play too. And of course we know, even though I didn't say it, he never speaks in the movie. I mean, he was able to speak in real life, but that was part of his persona. So he used gags, you know, props for comedy. That's why, you know, at the beginning he's always kind of squeaking with that bicycle horn.
Three cheers for Captain Spaulding!
Oh.
3 cheers for Captain Spaulding!
Oh, really,
3 cheers!
No one asked for the chairs. Put them right where you found them. Now go on.
He expressed himself with facial expressions and music, the harp, and you know, gags. I mean, which just makes for great comedy because his face was so great. And then, if you want to talk about piano playing, ragtime piano playing, I mean, Chico's amazing.
Beat you that time.
He must have been able to read music. I was trying to kind of look up and figure out, you can't just, I mean, I guess you could practice. It's unbelievable ragtime. So this is the music going on the day, right? This is part of vaudeville. This is part of performing on stage. It was ragtime. Scott Joplin, Irving Berlin that we did a class on, Jerome Kern, those early songwriters in the early 20th century were setting the tone of the great American songbook that we've talked a lot about, that, you know, everybody was impressed with. Even classical composers in Europe, they loved these American songwriters, these guys that were immigrants that came to the country, the melting pot, New York, Ellis Island, all that stuff, and they changed music forever. Melody became so prominent and relevant and so beautiful, I mean, with all those great songwriters. So, I mean, but to play, ragtime is so hard to play anyway, but I'm just dumbfounded when I see how fast and how much humor they use in the music, and yet they're hitting every note. It's not chaos where it's a joke because they're not even playing it. They're really playing it, and then they're adding the jokes on top. So, you know, lately we've been talking a lot about comedy and music, and, you know, we're all big fans of laughing and how both rely on timing and all of these things. Also magic too. I mean, I don't know anything about magic, but, you know, there's just like a joke in magic. You kind of set the premise up so the audience knows. The audience expects some sort of punchline or something, and then you give them a result. So it's kind of like a 3-act thing, whether it's a magic trick or a joke where you set it up, and then usually what you want to do for that 3rd act is flip it, where the audience thinks this is going to be the punchline, and sometimes it is, and sometimes it's completely illogical and flipped. That's what the Marx Brothers did so well. You were hoping they were going to go in that direction, and you're not sure if they were, and then they do, and then or it's unexpected. I mean, part of the beauty of this comedy is that you're thrown off and it's unexpected.
Peanuts, get your fresh roasted peanuts, folks. They're nice and high and cold. They all get your peanuts. Here are peanuts. Peanuts. Fresh roasted peanuts.
So, just wanted to share with you. We have to talk about how brilliant of musicians they were too, and it went to to timing, right? And how they got the joke, how they used the instruments as props, but also to play beautiful music. I mean, it's really great to have a comedy going and then to just take a breath and then listen to wonderful music. And they were just, gosh, they were so talented. Groucho played guitar and sang, and Zeppo was a singer as well. But Chico and Harpo, I think, were just, they could have been professional musicians in their own right, but they were just in the realm of show business and they could do anything, really. So hope you enjoyed that. I know we were supposed to do an LA class, but I had to talk about the Marx Brothers and music with them. So, okay, tomorrow we see your film scoring results for Karate Kid. So can't wait to show you that. Okay, see you tomorrow. Bye.